say I'm incredibly impressed with the turnout tonight and how many citizens from Litchfield Park are here to listen about the state of the city. We appreciate the fact that you've chosen to spend a little time with us. The first thing we're going to do is ask you to do something you may not want to do, but it would be helpful for everyone else who's standing. Anyone who's got open spaces, if you could scoot together one way or the other so we can make some space for those that have to stand. And anybody who's standing who wants to sit up in the front row, it says reserved, but it's reserved for you. So you are reserved. So come up and use these chairs in the front also. We're going to begin tonight with the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you would all, I think the flag's right here. So if you would all join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So we're going to begin by introducing, it says in my script that I need to introduce myself. I am Thomas Schoaf, the mayor of the city of Litchfield Park, and the council and I want to welcome you tonight to listen to the state of our city. Before we begin, I want to honor some distinguished guests that we have, and I'm going to have to be honest that my list of distinguished guests is not perfect. I'm sure that there's some missing, and so I'm going to start out by apologizing to everyone that I miss. We want to start with Representative Taylor from our state legislator. And a person who may be important to some of you is our judge, who happens to hear our traffic citations, Honorable Judge Jennings. Is he here? I know I saw him earlier. And then I know we have Councilman Laura Cano from the city of Goodyear. Oh, there she is. We have one of my favorite mayors in the West Side, BG, from the town of Wittenberg. We have Colonel Herbert and Mark James from the Air Force Base, Luke Air Force Base. We have, I have trouble reading some of these. This one's Carter Davidson. Litchfield Elementary School. Is he here? Carter, thanks for coming. Let's see. I think that's all that I have that are elected officials. We also have a number of our commissioners here, and I'd like to ask the commissioners to stand up as a group, and we want to say thank you to you. So everyone who's on one of our boards and commissions, please stand up. And I know there's probably people that I've missed, and if I missed you, I'm sorry. If you'd like to stand up now, we recognize you also. All right, so we'll get started. We are excited to share what's happened in 2025 with you, and to give you some ideas of what we're working on in 2026. From Litchfield Square to the new Hilltop Loma Arts Academy, the Performing Arts Center, the library, the PW Litchfield Heritage Center, improvements that are started on Litchfield Road, improvements that are coming shortly on Camelback Road, and many other projects throughout the city. We had a very productive 2025 that has given us a very, very, very long list of significant projects that are going to impact your life as we go into 2026. We are also going to hear that our city financial condition is in very good shape. We are very financially stable. All of these things will be covered tonight in tonight's format, which is going to be a videotape or a presentation on the screen, so that it will be easier for the council and hopefully more enjoyable for you. I wanted to say to you that as you came in, there were a number of news and update boards. On those boards, there are little QR codes. If you scan those QR codes, it will take you to information on the web that's more detailed than what's on those boards. So any of those things you're interested in, scan the QR code. One of the things that's out there is a QR code that talks about, or I guess it talks about at least a new app that we're going to suggest you get. The app is called Engage LP, and you can get the app either on Google or on Apple. This app will allow you to communicate with the city for things that you have questions on, for complaints that you may have about things that are happening in the city. You can voice your opinions about things. We have just gone live with this app over the last week or so, and even with no publicity, somehow people find out about this. And we've actually gotten quite a few inputs from residents, both for questions that they had and also for some suggestions and for some things they're happy about. So I would encourage you to get the app, take a look at it, and then if you see an issue in the city, be our eyes and ears and tell us about it. If you see a stop sign that needs to be replaced, or you see a street sign, a name of a road that needs to be replaced, you see some bad asphalt, you see areas that need to be better upkeep in terms of either city property or the neighborhoods, let us know. You can all serve your city and your residents by getting in touch with us through this new app, Engage LP. So with that, I'm going to invite you to watch the the video. Once we are complete with that, which will take about 45 minutes, then there will be a question and answer period where you're welcome to ask questions of the council. We would ask you to fill out, there's a form I think in the back of the room that gives us your name, your address, and that sort of things, and lets us know that you want to speak. If you'd fill out that form, it would be a lot easier in terms of recognizing you. But if something happens and you don't get the form filled out, if you put up your hand, then we'll have you come up and just give us the information. So with that, we'll get on with the program. Thank you.
From rich history to a thriving present and a promising future, welcome to Litchfield Park's State of the City. Now, Mayor Thomas Schoaf.
Good evening. I'm Mayor Tom Schoaf, and I'm happy to welcome you to this year's version of the State of the City for the City of Litchfield Park. The City of Litchfield Park has experienced steady economic growth over the last several fiscal years. This results from increased sales tax revenues, which is our primary revenue source. The city takes a conservative approach towards forecasting revenues, expenditures, and debt. This ensures a fiscally positive condition for our city. Our current revenues will be sufficient to support current operating expenditures. During the fiscal year 2025, both residential and commercial construction activity continued, with Litchfield Square construction now underway. At full build-out, Litchfield Square is projected to generate $2 million annually in local sales tax revenue. And the city anticipates economic growth, the state as a whole, which is consistent, gradual, but with no recession in sight. So it is a positive outlook. The general fund is the city's chief operating fund. At the end of 2025 fiscal year, the general fund's unassigned fund balance was $26.2 million. While the general fund balance has generally increased by $2.2 million, this indicates the city has sufficient resources to meet its ongoing obligations. The key factors in this increase were significant increases in grant revenues and in sales taxes. Sales taxes from retail and commercial zones continue to be the primary source of revenue for the city. In a conservative approach for fiscal year 2026, we have budgeted annual local sales taxes equal to 2025. The other major revenue source for us is intergovernmental revenue or state shared revenue. This is expected to decrease by 4% in the current year. This decrease is due to a reduction in state income tax, which then reduces our state shared revenue. The city continues to have no general property tax to support our operations. Overall, our cash reserves are expected to be maintained in the event of revenue shortfalls, so we will be able to meet our capital project needs, including Litchfield Square, as we go forward. The capital project's budget is $32.4 million, which includes significant investment in roads, a new library, and a new public works facility. Year-over-year comparison shows our budget has gone up, our general budget, overall budget, has gone up by more than 45%. The reason for this is a lot of capital expenditures that are going to be done in the next year to 2 years, which are shown, all of which are shown in our current budget. Our actual operating budget of about $12 million has only increased about 6%. Much of this is in contingency planning for things that may happen, so that our actual expenditures for 2026 should come in less than what we projected. We have $7.5 million budgeted as a financial stabilization fund. And what this means is it's $7.5 million of cash that will cover us if we have any downturn in our economies. Our finance department has received the highest form of recognition in governmental accounting for the 27th year in a row. They are to be congratulated for a job very, very well done. Litchfield Square is poised to become the epicenter of our city. The park has already hosted many of our city's beloved events and is furthering our traditions. What was once just a dirt lot has been transformed into a space where our residents can walk their dogs, have their children play, our community can gather to connect, celebrate, and enjoy what our city has to offer. This centralized venue offers more expansive space for our festivals. It adds convenience for the vendors. It adds restrooms. It has a dedicated area for entertainment and a dedicated area for our kids. The first phase of construction is underway on Litchfield Square development. Concrete slabs started being poured and walls are now vertical at our first development, giving us an exciting preview of what will be a 25-acre multi-used walkable urban center. The first lots, located at the southwest corner of Village Parkway and Desert Avenue, are taking shape as a 2-story, 40,000 square foot building known as Heritage Place. This mixed-use structure will feature ground floor retail shops, restaurants, and office spaces. A mix of local and national tenants is set to move in around April of this year. These include H&B Builders, Edward Jones, State Farm, Fairway Dental, the Maverick Lounge, Clubhouse Couture, the Collective Med Spa, Sixth and Horizon, Westerly Salon, Sonora and Rose, and Park Littles. Just to the west of there, at the northwest corner of the Loma Avenue and Village Parkway, an approximately 24,000 square foot, 3-story building is taking shape. It will feature a 6,000 square foot, 3rd floor outdoor patio for a restaurant, and it has a separate 275 square foot ice cream shop. There are debates over which will become the most used square footage, but I'm voting with the ice cream shop. It will attract all of the children in the park, including me. At the northwest corner of Desert Avenue and Wigwam Boulevard, near the current City Hall, a design is in the works for a project that blends retail, residential, and dining spaces. The ground floor will feature a 20,000 square foot mixed-use building, which is dedicated to retail, restaurants, and offices, while the 2nd and 3rd floors will house 20 exclusive condominiums with expansive views of the park and the surrounding mountains. You probably have noticed that we included a significant number of angled parking spaces throughout Litchfield Square. These may be enough for all of the parking we need in Litchfield Square as it moves forward, or they may not, depending upon how the remainder of the Litchfield Square develops. If necessary, we have in planning a 3-story garage which will house the overflow traffic. These developments underscore Litchfield Park's dynamic future, promising enhanced amenities. They show the council's commitment to responsive growth for our city and for the growing needs of our community. It has taken some time to complete this development, from the time that we initially really conceived the downtown area in the mid-90s, through the time in the early 2000s when we were able to start buying the land, until today. We spent many, many hours of meetings with the community to understand what needs were we trying to fulfill with the city center. There was no question that residents desired to have a downtown area, desired to have the amenities that a city center can provide. But it's also no question that everybody wanted to protect our neighborhoods and protect our lifestyle. So developing this land took a lot of time. We had to obtain the land, purchase the land from 3 or 4 separate owners. We had to meet with the community so that there was an understanding of what would fit in this community and what did the community desire. And finally, once we understood that, it's taken time to develop what the citizens have told us they want. It is not a cookie-cutter development that can be put up in a matter of months. We are looking for very specific buildings to be built here to fit into a specific lifestyle that we enjoy in the park. It has to be the correct uses of the buildings, and it has to be the correct square footage of the buildings so that it both provides the amenities we want, but it doesn't destroy the lifestyle that we cherish. Thank you very much for watching my portion of this presentation. Now we'll hear from our council, who will go through other areas of great importance to our city and things that I think you'll be very interested to hear about.
Thank you, Mayor. Now, here's Vice Mayor Paul Faith.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm Paul Faith. I've been your Vice Mayor for the last 20 plus years, and I'm proud to have served the citizens of Litchfield Park. As Litchfield Square takes shape, the city landmark will also see changes. Scout Lodge has been a long-time meeting place for Boy Scout troops 90, 99, Cub Scouts, and Girl Scouts. The Scouts have requested city efforts to relocate the building be paused. In December 2025, the city and the Scouts entered into an agreement with the Scouts to pursue a fundraising campaign over the next 12 months with the construction costs of a new building across the street in Scout Park. This new facility will provide a safe and enhanced experience for current and future Scouts. The city remains committed to supporting their efforts. As a former Scoutmaster, Cub Master, and father of Eagle Scouts who used that Scout Lodge, I strongly encourage city support for all Scouts. Stay tuned for updates as this project develops. The city is experiencing growth, and it's exciting to see our rapidly transforming landscape. As we anticipate issues development will bring, city leadership recognizes community concerns, particularly speeding vehicles throughout the city. Speeding creates safety issues for both drivers and pedestrians. Safety is a top priority for our community, and council has approved measures to reduce speeding. The city has worked with our police and budgeted for a new traffic control officer on city streets. Starting in early January, this officer has already made a significant positive change. Also, Camelback Road is currently being redesigned with landscaped medians, sidewalks, calming features, and a roundabout positioned near Camelback Road and Denny Boulevard intersection to further reduce speed, improve safety, and make the area more visually appealing. Roundabouts improve traffic flow, reduce congestion, and improve safety. Studies show roundabouts reduce overall crash numbers by up to 40% and reduce the likelihood of life-threatening crashes. As vehicle and pedestrian activity increases, city leadership will continue to explore all avenues to maintain our small town atmosphere and traffic safety within Litchfield Park.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Faith. And now, Councilmember Lisa Brainerd Watson.
When we think of quality of life, we think of tree-lined streets, citrus groves, and manicured paths that frame everyday life. Those who proudly trace their family history to the earliest days of West Valley celebrate with neighbors who have just discovered the park. Sun-filled weekends that feel like festivals, that's Litchfield Park. City leadership carefully curates programming to enhance the high-quality life our residents have come to expect through a concerted effort. Aesthetically, city staff have worked hard to ensure beautification efforts extend throughout the year with multiple touch points like parks, landscaping, and city streets. In 2025, the city extended lighting ambiance in the downtown district throughout the year, allowing for a festive feel and visual alliance for causes aligned with our community, such as the Domestic Violence Awareness Month through programmable lighting. By working closely with our community partners, residents were able to stay informed through events like the Goodyear Fire Department Open House, where residents had the opportunity to learn valuable safety information from emergency medical professionals who actually provide service for our city. Efforts like the Christmas tree recycling program allow residents to play an important role in our sustainability efforts. And city-led input meetings enable residents to provide valuable insights and feedback that help shape our city. From the Arts in the Park concert series to the city's signature events, Litchfield Park's calendar in many ways keeps the community connected. Community gatherings have grown into community and family traditions, and the recreation and special events staff carefully curate well-attended events all year round that bring us together. Leadership isn't just about making decisions for the community, it's also about being engaged and responsive to the needs of the community. All told, life here is simple on purpose. Beautiful public spaces, celebrated history, and a full slate of community traditions wrapped in that small town ease everyone hopes to find. These efforts represent a significant investment in not only the city's infrastructure, but its most valuable asset, its people, demonstrating the city's commitment to protecting, promoting, and investing in the quality of life in Litchfield Park. In the summer of 2025, Liberty Water announced it was seeking a rate increase for its water and wastewater services to residential customers, and a case was officially opened with the Arizona Corporation Commission. The rate increases have not been approved and are currently being reviewed. If approved, water rates would increase by 38.4%, while wastewater rates would see an increase of 53.76%, and new rates could take effect as early as the third quarter of 2026. Liberty last requested a rate increase in 2017. Since then, they've made many improvements in their infrastructure, including $69 million to upgrade its water system with new wells and $157 million in improvements to its wastewater system, including a new wastewater treatment facility. Liberty's upgrades enable an enhanced ability to provide dependable and safe drinking water services, effective wastewater treatment, and ensure the company remains in compliance with federal and state regulations. Many of you attended the community meetings hosted by Liberty last fall. If you missed the opportunity to attend, the ACC will hold hearings and collect public comments through early 2026 while it reviews Liberty rate increase request. The ACC considers public feedback before making any decision. Sharing your experience, concerns, or questions helps regulators understand how rate changes might affect households in Litchfield Park.
Thank you, Councilmember Watson. And now, here's Councilmember Ron Clare.
Hi, I'm Councilman Ron Clare. I have loved serving this city since 2019 as one of your city councilmen, and I moved into the city in 2013. Beautiful parks, celebratory lighting, working facilities. Our Public Works makes all of this happen and more. In 2025, our Public Works team made significant strides in city maintenance and beautification efforts, all while helping carry out the vision of our city's capital improvement projects. This team works hard every day through sweltering heat, pouring rain, and chilly mornings, so our community can enjoy the best of Litchfield Park. While much of what Public Works does is front and center, like our landscaping, installing holiday decor, and street maintenance, it's often the behind-the-scenes infrastructure work that is the true backbone of the city. Here are just a few stats that will give you an idea of the impact this department has on our city. In the past year, the team has completed landscape improvements in the area along Wigwam Trail near the Red Course, on the island on Palo Verde Street, and at the City Hall entrance. They have renovated irrigation at Camelback Park, installed 30 new shrubs, replaced 60 trees, and maintained almost 4,700 trees throughout the city, valued at over $25 million. Standout projects include lighting at the Tierra Verde Lake, which installed 30 bollard lights around the lake's perimeter to promote safety and security, the installation of playground shade structures at Village and Turtle Parks. These structures not only provide relief from the sun's heat and harmful UV rays, but also enhance the usability and comfort of our parks throughout the year. Strategically placed shade structures encourage longer visits and more frequent use. Beyond comfort, the shade structures contribute to public health by reducing the risk of heat stroke and sunburn, making the parks more inclusive and sustainable. We appreciate the Public Works team and hope this gives you a little more insight to what it takes to keep Litchfield Park looking great and performing at its best. As the city prepares for the grand opening of the new library slated for August of 2026, we have the unique and exciting opportunity to repurpose the Florence Litchfield Britton building. A public information meeting held in January brought thoughtful recommendations from the community for the future use of this facility. You asked and we listened. Residents overwhelmingly voiced their preference for repurposing the building into a community center, which would offer classes, meeting, and flexible gathering spaces. While an official use hasn't been finalized, there will be additional opportunities for residents to voice their opinions and share their vision for a building that has served our community for decades. A huge thank you to everyone who took the time to join our council and staff at the January public input meeting. Community feedback is the cornerstone of a healthy and effective community planning, and we look forward to continuing the conversation in the spirit of collaboration and transparency.
Thank you, Councilmember Claire. And now, Councilmember Justin James.
Hello, I'm City Councilman Justin James. I've been a member of the City Council for 3 years and proudly lived in Litchfield Park since 2014. Litchfield Park's capital improvement plan outlines key investments in the city's infrastructure, facilities, and community amenities to support both our current needs and our anticipated growth. Our park saw an upgrade in 2025 with improvements like new shade structures and fresh wood chips added to make the time spent at the parks safer and more comfortable. Newly renovated Camelback Park now includes 24 angled parking spaces, 2 ADA accessible parking spaces, 5 golf cart and motorcycle parking spaces, 2 loading zones, 2 speed cushions along Villanueva Drive, as well as new benches and sidewalks, all designed to increase safety and improve accessibility for park visitors. Future improvements will add shade structures, exercise equipment, and new fencing around the park. Sports fans can rejoice as the first phase of the resurfacing project for the city's basketball courts is now complete, just in time for basketball league practices. Phase 2 will complete the tennis court resurfacing in early May, and we're excited to announce that pickleball is coming to Litchfield Park. As part of Phase 2, pickleball court striping will overlay the newly refurbished tennis courts, allowing for up to 4 pickleball games to run simultaneously during open play. Aside from our parks and recreation, improvements to Litchfield Road are also on the horizon. The city, in collaboration with the Agua Fria Union High School District and Sun Health, is set to embark on a series of significant improvements along Litchfield Road, which are designed to enhance traffic flow, improve pedestrian safety, and support the growing cultural hub in our community. Key features of the plan include the construction of a pedestrian underpass to provide a safe and direct route from the Hilltop property to the Fry's Shopping Center for students, pedestrians, and cyclists, as well as a roundabout at the Britton Avenue entrance to the reimagined historic Willoma Homestead. Resembling the current roundabout at Litchfield Road and Village Parkway, this added development will reduce delays and speeding in the area while promoting safety. The installation of a traffic signal at Missouri Avenue will also be added to further improve traffic management and safety. Future projects include rebuilding Camelback Road west of Litchfield Road, addressing congestion relief at the Litchfield Camelback Road and Litchfield Road Wigwam Boulevard intersections, refurbishing the current public works facility, downtown electrical updates, and the addition of a playground for the city's preschool program. Looking ahead, the Capital Improvement Program will prioritize projects that enhance transportation safety, civic spaces, essential maintenance, and community-driven projects, and most importantly, promote the active lifestyle our residents love and enhance connectivity within our community. Council and city leadership have a vision for the future of our city, where connections are made, businesses thrive, and dreams are realized. Through the power of partnership, we can accomplish great things as we reflect on the past year. We are deeply grateful for the partners who have supported our vision. From everyday operations to projects years in the making, our partners help Litchfield Park thrive. Our residents enjoy one of the safest communities in the state, thanks to Avondale Police Department and Goodyear Fire Department, who maintain a consistent and highly visible presence. Litchfield Park maintains a strong economy thanks to the businesses that serve both residents and visitors throughout the year. From solopreneurs to the wigwam, our business community is often the first touch point of our city for visitors and a place of comfort for our residents. We appreciate all you do to make the park shine. Speaking of the economy, we know the impact that Litchfield Square will have on our downtown district and are grateful to developers Mike Rodolfo, Jay Pointer, and LP Heritage Partners for joining us in this journey to enhance the downtown area. A cornerstone of economic development, arts, and culture, the Hilltop will forever change our community, and we thank the Maricopa County Library District, Sun Health, Agua Fria High School District, and the PW Litchfield Heritage Center for their united efforts to continue the intentions and legacy of the Litchfield and Denny families. We can't forget the support that the Maricopa Association of Governments, the League of Arizona Cities and Towns, the Southwest Valley Chamber of Commerce, and our neighboring Southwest Valley cities provide. It takes a collective effort to maintain a successful community and provide the lifestyle we have come to know as Litchfield Park. From our highly rated schools that deliver top-notch curriculum to our youngest citizens, to the community organizations that facilitate support and programming to all residents from all backgrounds, your contributions to our city are invaluable. And finally, we are incredibly grateful to our residents. We work for you and couldn't do what we do without your feedback and trust. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember James. And here's Councilmember Suzanne Allen.
Hi, my name is Suzanne Allen, and I am just coming up on the completion of my first year of my first term on council. In 2025, the city made a strategic investment in strengthening how we communicate with residents, businesses, and community partners. With major projects underway in Litchfield Square and the Hilltop, council recognized the need for a more coordinated, proactive, and accessible approach to citywide communication, one that ensures timely information, strengthens transparency, and builds public trust. On July 1st, the city welcomed Yosha Brunson-Cool as its first ever Director of Communications. Since joining the city, Yosha has expanded digital and print communications, strengthened media relations, built relationships with community partners, and elevated the city's social media presence, improving how information is shared and how the community engages and collaborates with city leadership. Together, these efforts are reshaping how the city communicates, creating a more open and connected community. This new role reflects our commitment to clear, consistent, and transparent communication now and into the future. Litchfield Park is leading a transformational effort to renew the historic 21-acre Rancho La Loma homestead, the former retreat of our city's founder, Paul W. Litchfield. Through thoughtful planning, deep community input, and strong regional partnerships, this treasured site is being reimagined as a vibrant cultural campus where arts, education, history, and community come together, honoring the past while boldly investing in our future. If you haven't visited the corner of Litchfield and Camelback recently, you've missed remarkable progress. Construction is well underway on the Hilltop School for the Arts and the city's new library. The site is rapidly transforming into a dynamic destination and cultural hub for the Southwest Valley. At the heart of this transformation is the Hilltop School for the Arts, a tuition-free public high school developed in partnership with the Agua Fria Union High School District. Opening in August 2026, the school will offer students across Arizona an immersive, arts-integrated education across multiple professional pathways, including film, dance, music production, theater, and visual arts. This fall, we are proud to welcome the first class of students to our city. The adjacent 700-seat Performing Arts Center will serve both students and the broader community, bringing high-caliber regional, national, and international performances to the West Valley, establishing Litchfield Park as a regional center for cultural excellence. Complementing the campus is Litchfield Park's new 10,000 square foot library, developed in partnership with the Maricopa County Library District. Designed as a modern hub for learning, collaboration, and discovery, the library will feature expanded programming space, study rooms, updated technology, and dedicated areas for adults, teens, and youth. We are thrilled that this partnership will bring enhanced services to over 24,000 residents who call Litchfield Park their home library. Rising above the campus, the renewed PW Litchfield Heritage Center will preserve and interpret the stories of the Southwest Valley's original communities, agricultural roots, and industrial legacy, becoming both an educational and research destination and a living tribute to the people and history that shaped our community. Surrounding the campus, the city's plan prioritizes adaptive reuse of the site's historic structures, like the original cottages, bandstand stage, water tank, and sunset terraces, transforming them into welcoming public spaces. Trails, gardens, and shaded outdoor areas will invite exploration and connection, while landscaped open spaces will support everything from quiet reflection to large community gatherings. Together, these investments represent a once-in-a-generation transformation, preserving our heritage, expanding educational opportunity, and creating vibrant spaces where residents and visitors can gather, learn, and connect. This renewal of the Hilltop stands as one of the most significant cultural and civic initiatives in Litchfield Park's history.
Thank you, Councilmember Allen. And here's Councilmember Andrew Frazier.
My name is Andrew Frazier. I've lived in Litchfield Park since 2019, though I've wanted to live in Litchfield Park since I first visited back in 2009. This is my first term on the council. I have a young family with 3 little kids, 11, 9, and 7. Litchfield Park is steeped in traditions that continue to engage residents of all ages. The city is known for its signature events that mark each season, creating memorable experiences for residents and guests alike. The completion of Litchfield Square Park has been instrumental to the city's efforts to offer expanded programming, and in 2025, the city welcomed 3 new family-friendly and free events that are poised to become citywide traditions. The city's first Easter event in the square welcomed attendees with a petting zoo, an Easter egg hunt for the children, and the Easter Bunny himself making a grand entrance. The city's 4th of July event, Sparkle in the Square, combined a small town fun with a big sky finale. Lawn games, food trucks, and a pie eating contest set the tone for our new summer tradition as our community celebrated under the stars alongside one of the best fireworks shows in the valley. The holidays were kicked off in style with the inaugural Christmas tree lighting ceremony, transforming Litchfield Square Park into a cozy Hallmark movie type of celebration led by Mayor Schoaf and the man of the hour, Santa Claus himself. Attendees enjoyed an event that blended hometown charm and thoughtful family touches, featuring activities such as a sleigh ride, kids' letter to Santa station, and photos with Santa. Whether spring, summer, or fall, we're thankful for everyone who spent their holidays in the square. Overall community feedback from the city's new events has been overwhelmingly positive, and staff look forward to planning engaging signature events for our community. Our city's success depends on community participation in the civic process. And in 2025, the city offered residents a new opportunity to learn about local government through its Citizens Academy program. The 8-course program is designed to educate residents about city operations and give a detailed understanding of various city departments and their functions. Sessions included a government overview, public finance, engineering and community development services, the Litchfield Square and the Loma Hilltop developments, public safety, public works, Liberty Utilities, as well as community and recreation services. After completing 7 monthly sessions and 14 class hours, the inaugural cohort was formally recognized by council during a special session of the October 2025 City Council meeting. We extend a heartfelt thank you to the program's first participants, Colin Barleycorn, Judith Barleycorn, Heather Clark, Eric Conwell, Sarah Faith, Jason Franz, Melissa Gibson, Stephanie Hyatt, John Pierce, and Kathy Rodman. Preparations are underway for the 2027 cohort, and we look forward to welcoming the next class.
Thank you, Councilmember Frazier. And now, some final words from Mayor Schoaf.
We are grateful for the trust that our community places in us to secure your financial future while strategically managing our current needs of our evolving city and planning for the future so that this city of Litchfield Park will always be a great place to live.
Thank you for joining us. For updates and information, visit our website or contact city offices. We look forward to sharing more milestones in the years ahead.
Okay, so it's working. Well, I hope you enjoyed our first attempt at doing a video presentation of our State of the City. It was a treat. So we want to start by thanking Yosha and the rest of the staff who worked on this. They put many hours into it. Chuck Emmerich did a great job at filming it all and editing and putting it all together into a presentation for you. I'm sure it's a format that we will utilize as we go forward, and hopefully we will continue to make it more and more interesting and more professional. But I think the staff did a great job, so if you could all give them a round of applause, I appreciate it. Now we have an opportunity. If anybody on the council wishes to make a further statement beyond what you made on the video, you're welcome to do so. Does anybody have anything further to say? If not, we'll go into questions and answers. Oh, yes.
Yes, I have something to say.
Tell us what else.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Suzanne Allen, and I just wanted to share that it's truly been an honor to serve the residents of the city of Litchfield Park for this past year and some months. And I was really thrilled to be able to be here and share this with you. After my oath of office that I took in January of 2025, I shared that my vision as a council member was to balance progress and preservation and innovation and tradition and fiscal responsibility with investment in our future, all while protecting that close-knit community vibe that we love. And I've really focused this year on furthering that. One of the things that I wanted to mention is that I serve on a regional board, Westmark. They've been a great partner. And by engaging in conversations beyond just our city limits, I wanted to make sure that Litchfield Park has a seat at the table where those regional decisions are being made. It's very important to me because what affects our region affects Litchfield Park, and we need to be a part of that conversation because while we may be a small city, we have a big voice. Sorry, I thought somebody was going to clap and I was going to pause for that. And also, I hope that you could feel the passion that I have for the Hilltop project. I think that is fantastic, and I'm really trying to pour into that because I think that that's such a fantastic opportunity. So I just wanted to share that with you. And, the partnerships that we have with everyone up there is very important. Finally, I wanted to thank my fellow council members and mayor for all of your support this past year. Without that, I think that I would have maybe been not as successful in all of my endeavors, and so the support of this council has been key to my success as a council member, and in turn to serve you as a resident of the city. So thank you very much.
Would anyone else like to say anything?
For those of you I haven't met, I'm Andrew Frazier. I just completed my first term on council, my first year on council with Suzanne. My family, as I shared in the video, we've probably lived here for 7 years. I'm what they call a transplant. My wife's family has been here for the last 60. Thank you, Terry. Or I've lived here for the last 60 years. And as I shared in the video, when I first visited here in 2009, this is someplace I want to call home. It has a lot to do with the small town atmosphere and the community feel. Abby and I have 3 kids. They came, they're sitting in the front row. They're third generation Litchfield Park or Litchfield Elementary students, which I think is pretty neat for a community like this. Professionally, I've spent the last 7 years as the district engineer for Maricopa Water District. So I oversee our infrastructure, maintain our infrastructure and planning and development, which covers about 45 square miles here in the West Valley. So in my day-to-day operations, I deal a lot with the municipalities and the development that you've seen up and down the 303 corridor. And that experience is kind of what I've tried to bring to council and bring to my service to the city. I'm grateful for your trust that you've placed in me to serve as a council member, and I look forward to doing it for the next 3 years, and hopefully beyond.
You have a comment? Okay, well, you want to do one before I say what Lisa had to say? Or you seem to be following the protocol here, so. Okay. Lisa Brainerd Watson, our 7th council member, was not able to attend tonight because of some health issues, and she asked me if I would read her a short statement to you, just so you knew that she was thinking about this presentation and all of you. So here's what she had to say. Thank you for attending tonight's State of the City presentation. I'm so sorry that I'm unable to be there, but I hope you will find the information presented tonight to be insightful. As a council, we have endeavored to be transparent about decisions made by the council. Please always feel free to reach out to your council members with questions, concerns, and ideas. Again, I apologize for not being able to be there with you tonight. I hope you find the information presented to be as exciting as we do. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm Paul Faith. As I mentioned on the screen, it's kind of funny seeing yourself up there. I've been your vice mayor for the last 22 years, and it's been a long haul. When I got on the city council, we had a budget that was extremely small. Our parks were in difficult shape, our streets were in difficult shape. We were able to kind of hold fast to some of the development that wanted to come in around us. We live off sales tax, as was presented to you. Every resident that comes in causes a drain on our revenues. Every commercial business that comes in brings in a benefit, and the benefit is about 12 to 1 commercial versus the residential. We held fast with some of the growth around the edges of the city. There was a push once upon a time to try and push all that to become residential, and that was going to hurt our finances. Our finances weren't good in the first place. Holding fast, some wonderful things have happened. We've had things that have been kind of outside our walls, as we use that term sometimes. And we've got development that's happened around the edges. It's brought revenue into our city centers for us to be able to increase the quality of the product that we provide to all of our citizens. We acquired the city center property. I've been working on that project for probably almost 20 years. That was a difficult process trying to acquire that property, especially with a city that had no excess funds in its budget to go out and buy 30-something acres of prime property. We figured out a way to do it. We made it work, and I think we're going to have a wonderful, wonderful project when this is done. We took the gift of the hilltop, where Paul Litchfield's house is up there, where you see the Hilltop School for the Arts, the new PW Litchfield Heritage Center, the new library, and this massive new park that we're going to build. We took that property on, and we had no money then either. We had visions, we had ideas, we had hopes. We caretook that property the best we could for a number of years to the tune of $150,000 a year to manage it, protect it. And then magically all these wonderful things came together. And the leadership of our mayor and our staff, this whole thing is going to be a wonderful project, I believe. Our finances now are fantastic. As you heard, we are doing great. We have revenues to do all kinds of things. They're the new parks, the streets, the roundabouts, whatever it may be, a new public works facility, the Camelback Park improvements, maybe assisting with moving the scout hut. We're not sure how that whole project's going to work out. But our finances are fantastic, and I'm extremely proud the way this whole thing has come together over my term in office. Everybody sitting up here are volunteers. We don't get paid. Unlike a lot of cities in the valley where the city council receives some kind of payment for their time, we're volunteers. And we're here because we love this city. We love living here. My kids all live here. My grandkids all live here. It's very special to all of us. So we work, we serve, we want to keep what we've got. It's important to us, it's important to you. Maintaining that small town atmosphere has been a challenge, as you probably have noticed as we've grown around the edges, but I think we're doing a pretty good job of doing that. The last thing I've got is I want to thank the mayor. Being on the council at times can be a thankless job. We come to a city council meeting. If I saw this many people sitting at a city council meeting, I know you're not there to tell us what a good job we're doing. So I hope you're here tonight to understand what's going on, give us some feedback, tell us things you want us to do or want to do different. But being the mayor is a tough job, and I got to thank Tom. The job of the mayor takes probably more time than the other 6 of us spend on behalf of the city, all added up together. And he donates that time, he volunteers it. I'm sure he loves the city as much as all the rest of us. So I want to thank Tom, and I encourage you also. And he didn't pay me to say any of this. But I thank you, Tom, for all you've done in leading us.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. Good way to embarrass me in front of his constituents. We do appreciate everyone who's come out tonight, and now it's time for question and answers. And at this point, I only have one request to speak. If anybody else wants to speak, you're welcome to do so. But this request to speak is from Mr. Peter Mahoney. So, Mr. Mahoney, would you like to come up? Mr. Mahoney is a former council member. Served on the council for a long time, probably close to a decade, I guess, maybe more.
20 years.
20 years on the council. Part of that time was when I was mayor, and we miss Peter's inputs, on the council, and we're happy to listen to what he has to say tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, on the honor now.
So I'll just speak, get closer to it. I haven't heard enough back there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. I attended a city council meeting 2+ years ago, and I spoke about the condition of the downtown area, the lack of proper care of our islands, the orange trees that were dying, the lights downtown that half the time they didn't work. They did work, they were flashing. There was lights that shined up to the palm fronds to illuminate them that were hanging down at different angles. One on the roundabout was actually facing people at night, so as they were driving, the lights hitting you in the face. And I was ignored. I came back a year later and spoke about it again, and I was ignored. No one did anything. No one said a word. Nobody came up to me and said, you know what, we screwed up. But somebody finally did, and it was Ron Clare. Justin also helped some. But Ron was diligent about it. And he came up to me and he apologized one day. And he and I walked the whole downtown area. And he saw what I saw. But I also spoke to him about other parts of our community that have been ignored. And then he brought Paige over, not Faith, Paige, the assistant city manager. And we walked it together, the three of us. She apologized. She goes, yep, we dropped the ball big time. I said, what happened to our 10-year road program? She goes, we kind of dropped the ball on that too. And I said, it's obvious because when I was on the council, we looked at our streets as assets, not liabilities. But if you don't take care of that asset, it becomes a liability. And now many of our streets in this town are liabilities. You go down Neoland, Fairway, go down Wigwam Boulevard going westbound, about where the three arches are from the church, from the school, and we have a pothole there now. We have other ones that are forming on Wigwam Boulevard. The roundabouts are broken and cracked. The new lights that they put up are great, except they stay on all day, every day. I pointed out to a number of officials. The orange trees don't have to be dying. I actually spoke with a former council member, Tim Blake, who owns a landscape business. He told me the story about the greens, where they were losing their citrus trees. They had 20 that were dying. He brought in a guy named Brian Kipner from Adaptive Systems. And Brian came in and said, here's your problem, here's how you fix it. They saved 18 of those trees, and now they look fantastic. I actually brought this information to the city, and on my phone, I have Brian's recommendations. And this was many months ago, and no one's contacted him since. Those trees have been here for almost 100 years, and they don't have to die. They have to be taken proper care of and nurtured. There's a lot of ways to do it. They even inject special ingredients into the ground to get the root systems to handle the salts that come up. But I'm pointing it out because now we're putting more orange trees in the exact same place the previous ones were with the same soil conditions. And how long are they going to last? Probably not long. I challenge people. I'm looking around the room and I ride my bike quite a bit and I walk every morning and evening. And I see some people in here that walk every day and know how bad some of these streets are. I challenge you to go from Florence to Neoland on the inlet road on Wigwam Boulevard. There are cracks 5 and 6 inches wide, 2 inches deep. This hasn't been just something recently. This has been going on for years. But we don't have a road program right now. We spent the money on HER funds for the roundabout on Litchfield Road. So I will explain. The former city manager, Harold Crossman, may he rest in peace, was an amazing individual for our community.
He's a good guy.
He wanted downtown Litchfield Park to look like Disneyland. And I remember the last conversations we had was, Peter, don't worry, I'm going to beat this cancer, and we're going to make that look like that. It never happened. And we have the money to do it. We have $3 million extra a year right now in our budget, but we haven't spent it. He was instrumental in getting our back alleys paved. How he did it is one of the great mysteries of mankind because he got the county to actually pay for it. But that was Daryl Crossman. We have not done a thing to those assets. They have not been paved, they've not been micro-sealed, they've not been slurry sealed, nothing. And now they're starting to fail. I challenge you, drive around. I challenge you to go down all the streets and look what we have done. I know my street, Fairway, is going to have to be milled and redone because we haven't put a slurry seal or anything on it for many years, so that asset's not going to cost a lot of money to get repaired. I challenge you to walk on the pathway from Fairway Drive, where Ruth Cox's house is, going along a little shortcut you can, going to Villanueva. That's a city pathway. It hasn't been edged in probably 3 years. There's this much growth on it. I went to the city today, the Wigwam today, to talk to the director of golf just to confirm that I was right. That's a city pathway. I actually drove all of these spots with the new consultant for the city, Troy, who came over from, I believe, Gilbert, retired, and he didn't know that was his, but he didn't know any of this. But look around at the benches, at the memorial benches that people spent a lot of money in this community many years ago. The backs are falling off, they're disintegrating, the plaques, the metal plaque to say who died and why this was put there, some are missing. I just think it's embarrassing, personally. And I think we've lost sight of what's important in this community. Yeah, we're doing all this, but what about making sure what we have is there? And it's great, and it looks great. We kind of always compare ourselves to the West Valley version of Paradise Valley. People, right now we're not Paradise Valley. We should be. We have the money to do it, but we're not putting the money where it needs to be. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Mahoney. Your comments are taken as they're intended. The council is well aware of some of the problems we have with maintenance of items. We understand the issues that we've got with our streets and with the maintenance of some of the common areas. There are some areas that need attention, significant attention. This council has been very clear to staff, and I think staff is understanding that this is a priority of the council, and it is in the process of being fixed. But we do appreciate what you have to say in this forum, because it helps us. It helps what we have been communicating in the past to, through our council meetings and privately to staff, that this needs to be taken seriously because it's important to our residents. So I think everybody on the council appreciates your comments and takes them to heart. The Vice Mayor wanted me to mention the fact that one of the things that have happened, we've actually had a full reorganization of the responsibilities for public works within the management of the city, so that Paige, as her name was mentioned earlier, Paige is our assistant city manager. She now has direct authority over public works. And one of the things that she did as she took on that responsibility is she is overseeing the reorganization of the department so that the way that people do their work is going to change. And also the leadership within the department is being changed. And we're in the process of advertising for the hiring of a new public works director position. I don't know the specific title, but it's the director of our public works has changed, and we're in the process of replacing that position now through a hiring process. So the city has taken this very seriously. Anybody else have a comment? Okay, thank you. Now we'll recognize Jed Sowers.
There's a Sowers Hall in it.
Yeah,
I've been talking Sowers Hall because I'm Judd Sowers. I'm the guy.
We have to note your address, but we'll just note it as Sowers Hall.
Anyway, Peter's a friend of mine, and I've got some good friends up here on the dais. I know no city's perfect. We've got things to do. That's what Peter's telling you. But I'm also very, very proud of this city. I'm proud of your vision. These people work for nothing. They spend their time. They've got their heart in it. And quite frankly, you deserve our applause.
Thank you for your comments. Mr. Carter Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, members of the city of Litchfield Park. My name's Carter Wilson. I'm from Litchfield Park. I'm a frequent attendee of city council meetings, and I see what these people do time and time again. And I want to personally thank you for the time and effort that you put in. And I want to encourage everyone in this hall this evening to come out to a city council meeting from time to time. You don't have to come every month, but come once a year, twice a year. See what's happening in your city in real time, not just once a year. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to make a comment or ask a question?
I'm Bob Field, and I would just like to know what the plans are for the park in Camelback Park. You keep hearing that it's coming, there's changes coming, and I would like to just know when.
You're referring to Camelback, what we call Camelback Park?
Yes, that's correct.
Well, you've seen the change in terms of parking.
Right.
Initially, that was a parking lot that was planned actually in the interior of the park, and that was changed by council to be a parking along the street so that we didn't take up too much park space. The park itself is going to expand as we get the wall built in that section, and the wall should start, I think the last I heard was that the contracts are let and they're waiting for block, but the wall that goes around the park is going to expand towards both Dysart and Camelback Road, so there'll be more land than in the park. And then how we use that additional land, I think, is still being discussed, whether it's some kind of walking trail or track or expanded area for the soccer fields. So the park will change in size because of that. So those are the major things that are happening with Camelback Park.
So the wall will be pushed out in the next 3 or 4 months or something?
Yeah, well, the wall is one of the next major capital projects that will actually start. It's all the engineering on it is done, and the contract, I think, has been let. But there's a shortage of block, I think is the last I've heard. Once that's resolved, which will be here shortly, then you'll see construction start in the next, I don't know. Mr. City Manager, how long before we start the construction on the new wall? He's going to try to answer, I think.
Mr. Mayor, regarding the Camelback Wall project, sir, I would say the next 2 to 3 months. That project, the design has been complete for some time. So I will look for that later this spring, and it is in the current budget for this year, sir.
So it should be shortly. And then the park will be expanded in size.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council. My name is Diane Dudley, and I live on the corner of Desert Avenue and Wigwam Boulevard. That's a high traffic area, especially in the morning as parents are bringing their kids to school. And now I know that there's going to be much more development in there. And I'm just wondering, with all the new improvements that are going on for the city square and everything, is there going to be traffic management to bring people in, maybe via the roundabout rather than coming in on Wigwam Boulevard?
That's a good question. Well, I'm going to have to defer that to staff, and we'll get back to you. I don't know of any plans to change that intersection. I think the highest traffic that at least that I observed there is related to the elementary school when it changes over. So I don't think the roundabout that we have that's a little bit to the north is going to help that. They're going to stay on Wigwam Boulevard going to and from the school. So I don't know that there's going to be a lot of change in that area.
Well, so I do know that there's going to be new condos going up across the street, where the newspaper used to be and everything. So that's what I'm wondering. Are those people going to be coming in on Wigwam Boulevard, do you think, and turning north on Desert Avenue?
I'm going to have to think, my memory, I don't remember exactly, but I believe the entrances into their condos are going to be off of Desert, but it'll be closer to the downtown area. So which way they come, it wouldn't be surprising if they actually came through by the park as opposed to coming on Wigwam itself.
Well, I would just ask that you keep that in mind as you're preparing, plans for that area, because it does get really busy, right in that intersection. Thank you.
We'll do that. Yeah, hold on, we have a comment from the Vice Mayor.
We've been cognizant of the traffic issues as we tried to design that whole city center. We have made Village Parkway, where it hits Old Litchfield Road, a right turn only, trying to keep some of the traffic from going through the town. We've done the same thing with one of the roads is going to hit right behind Scout Hut onto, is that Fairway? That's going to be a right turn only, going out of there, trying to go into the neighborhoods. We've been working on all of that, and as we see it develop and see what happens, there may have to be some changes.
Good, thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. I appreciate everything that you guys do. My name is Sherry Burles. I've lived in the community for several years now. My biggest concern recently has been all the traffic of the semis and the trucks hauling rock, especially on Camelback. The other day, I actually reported a semi that was doing 15 miles over the limit, dodging in and out of traffic, cutting people off, and I reported that in. I'm seeing just so much of that, and I wonder with the new high school going up, what are we doing? I thought we had incorporated the city so we could, tell the semis they weren't allowed to be on Camelback. What's come of that?
It's a longer story than we had for tonight. It literally is a very, very long story. But there was within the city of Litchfield Park, we have a prohibition for through commercial trucks. So semi trucks are not allowed to drive through the city if it's just a through. If they have to come here for business, then they can come, but if not as a thoroughfare to somewhere else. That prohibition was about to apply to Camelback Road as it became part of the city. The Arizona Trucking Association, the Rock Products Association disagreed with stopping trucks on Camelback, and so they went to the state legislature. And I don't mean to call out the legislature, but the state legislature decided that,
right there.
In all fairness to the representative, he wasn't the representative then, but the state legislature passed a law eventually, and this is where the explanation is quite long because it took a couple of years for this to happen, but they eventually passed a law that said that we were not allowed to prohibit trucks on Camelback Road.
Directed only at us.
Right, it's a very specific law. In any event, so we were presented with the decision as a council on how to respond to that. So we're going about it in a process of trying to mitigate the issue of trucks on that road. So there's a safety concern with speeding. So we have added this year, starting in January, we added a full-time traffic policeman to 8 hours a day. It's all he does is for his shift, he does traffic patrol. That policeman will be scheduled on a rotating basis to hours at night, because that seems to be the biggest area that we get complaints from our residents because of the speeding at night. But he is going to focus on things like speeding on Camelback Road to make sure that we keep all people, not just trucks, but all people, keep the speeds down. We're redesigning Camelback Road, and in conjunction with Sun Health, actually, we will be rebuilding Camelback Road starting next year. And that road will have traffic, will be set up to be a very nice boulevard that will be designed to try to calm traffic and keep speeds at a reasonable level. There may be some sound mitigation that's put in with the form of a wall and portions of Camelback. So there are things that the council is working on an active basis to try to mitigate the issues. If those don't work, then the next step is more aggressive work with the legislature, and we may end up in a battle over it, quite frankly. But it didn't seem to be a very good expenditure of all of the city's money to impact only a few residents. At least at this point, when we had things that needed to be done to Camelback anyway, and when we had things that we could do in our own house to keep things like speeding down. So we are working on it, but it's a slow process.
it seemed like we incorporate through a vote that was supposed to change that?
Well, we incorporated in 1987, I believe, so that was a long time ago. But then we just recently we adopted a city charter, and the charter does give us more authority over our streets and roads. That's an issue that would become an issue if we decided to challenge the legislature basically on their ability to impact Camelback Road. You know, it's not clear from a legal standpoint whether they can do that. The problem with the legislature, this is to your benefit, the legislature, if we win that argument, which we might, they can change the law and apply it again, and then we got to fight again. And so it's a never-ending situation. It's very difficult to fight. You know, they say it's difficult to fight City Hall. Well, it's very difficult to fight the legislature. So it's very difficult to fight powerful lobbying interests like Sand and Gravel. So the best situation is if we can find a way to coexist, and so that our residents are not disturbed unnecessarily, and so that we don't end up in a fight with Sand and Gravel through the legislature.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, our choice was to spend a large amount of money to maybe litigate and lobby and everything trying to get that changed, or to take that big pot of money and attempt to build something that we can see and maybe do the calming features and stuff. And right now we're trying to spend that pot of money trying to fix that road, make it look better, do the calming features. If that doesn't work, we're gonna have to go find another big pot of money, and then maybe we go the other route.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name's Tom Rizzo. I believe I live, and my wife do, live in Litchfield Park, but hearing some of this, I'm not so sure. I live over in Litchfield Greens. I got two Litchfield Park. Yeah. Well, you say that, but there was one improvement on there for our community. If anything, what you have done is created noise torture. The new rumble bars or speed bumps. Sir, you don't need to, Mr. Sir, don't shake your head at that. I'm sorry.
The reason I laughed is literally the very first complaint to the city about noise. Actually, it was me. I complained to the city the very first time I heard trucks go across that, and I was trying to make a putt on the red course. I can tell you, I do not like those rumble strips, and
they need to go away, and we can end this right now. But I need a commitment, and we need this addressed, because it won't go away. For those of us who watched you miss that putt, you have destroyed, and I am not kidding. There are other neighbors here. They're here. You have destroyed what we moved to.
It was not our intention, and we're going to fix it.
And I'm good with it.
We'll fix it.
They got to go.
Well,
there's another problem. It's simple. People drive. We're all responsible. When we get in an accident, we're held responsible. Our walls around Litchfield Greens hit like 4 times. Terry's over here. We didn't ask anybody to put in rumble bumps for people got drunk and fell asleep. So we're in a society where there needs to be accountability. Please.
I do not disagree with you.
Good. We're not going to debate it. You got it. We're on the same page, and I hope we make that putt next time. 2, you created another problem for us. Because again, we're not Litchfield Green over there. When you extended the wall up probably 2 feet, and this goes back 2 or 3 falls, do you know how now the sound all goes there and you didn't raise ours? So this is one of those things you need to think about, the cause and effect. For everything you do, it affects us, and we're the red-headed stepchildren over there. So, but anymore, I know when the meetings are, we'll be there and we'll work with you.
And please,
first show me something. I want those rumple bumps.
We are going to fix the rumple strips. So I'm going to tell you about your wall before you leave.
No, I'm going to sit down. Go ahead.
Okay, the wall that you're referring to around the greens, that wall is owned by the HOA. It's not a city wall. So it presents a problem for us. We can't go improve the HOA's wall, basically. So you need to take your concerns over that wall to the HOA.
Thank you. My name's Steve Lopez. I'm a 40-year resident. The family's been here for 41 years, actually, in March. And one of the things I was glad to hear about is the sensitivity to speed and the things that are being done to improve the roads and try to regulate the speed. And I'm glad you're thinking about getting rid of those rumble sticks because they drive me nuts as well. We're over on the southeast side on Sagebrush there, and around this time of night, Dysart Road and Indian School become speedways, and people are bringing their performance cars or whatever, and they're driving at excessive speeds. Now I know that might be outside the city's boundaries, but if there's something we can do about that, or at least think about that, and maybe get the sheriff to be a little more present there, because somebody's going to get hurt eventually with the way. And it seems like when the speeders start going there, they bring their friends, and then all of a sudden we're going to have an issue. So just thought I'd bring it up as we're talking about roads and speeds.
And thank you for your comment. The area that you're speaking of on both on Dysart and Indian School actually are not in the jurisdiction of the city. The Dysart is the county and Indian School is Avondale. So it may be that, at least on Indian School, that we can, through our relationship with Avondale, we can try to get some patrols if we know what time of day is important. So I would strongly suggest you let the city know the days and times, so we can see if there's a way to get some patrol once a day.
Well, right now, I know there's cars running down that street because right after dark, the action starts. Right. And, so just wanted to bring that up. And I will contact the Avondale Police Department as well. I have in the past on the certain issues too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Steve.
I'll get the microphone.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council folks. Thanks for allowing us to ask a few questions and add some comments. I'd like to add a really big amen to what Peter Mahoney had to say. We're spending a lot of money on new projects, but I think it's so very, very important to keep the place looking nice, trimmed hedges, edged lawns, etc., etc. So let's not let the old part go downhill while the new part is being built. You mentioned how important sales tax is to our income for the city of this park. I'd like to also commend Peter for his enterprises on Old Litchfield Road. He's doing a fantastic job, and it's a great, great meeting place for all of us that want to hang out and have a good meal, and I think it's wonderful. I don't think his sales tax would be anywhere close to fries. Thank goodness for fries. But anyway, he's doing his part, and we really, really appreciate it. Also, I think there was an agreement that the sales tax, maybe impact fees from the new library and school would be used to restore the landscape around the Litchfield estate. I really, really am anxious to see that done. It's kind of an eyesore, as you all have already heard many times, and those poor old palm trees that have been there forever and ever, probably a little dose of water and some fertilizer would really make them much, much better. For sake, thanks for all you're doing.
Thank you for your comments. A topic that I think I have talked to the representative before is the importance of sales tax, and particularly the importance of sales tax on food. We are one of the smaller communities throughout the state, one of probably 70 of us, that our budgets depend on that. So I know that it has come up once again at the legislature, and I would urge you to not support that. It would be very, very, very damaging to us. In terms of the park around the hilltop, the park that's on the hilltop, we did agree to take all the construction sales tax from the project, building the Performing Arts Center and the Arts Academy, and invest that money in refurbishing that park. We have a design that's been done by the same designer that designed the Desert Botanical Gardens. We're going to have a beautiful area that's put in the areas around the school and around all the way up on top of the hilltop. There'll be a large lawn area. There'll be walking paths. So it's going to be designed in such a way that it will attract people to come up if they to enjoy the fauna. Enjoy the desert plants that will be an unusual feature for this part of the valley. We expect the Desert Botanical Gardens to actually stay involved with this project as we go forward, so that we maintain the park in a way that it complements the experience that you get if you go over to the Desert Botanical Gardens. So we're looking forward to something that I think the residents are going to be very excited about.
Hi, good evening. My name is Rebecca Singh. I'm a resident of Litchfield Park, also work at St. Peter's Montessori School down the street. I think I live there more than I live in my home. Our school really aims to maintain a culturally diverse community. In fact, it's an intent and something that we're very purposeful about. We believe that this adds vibrancy, creativity, color, and innovation to the school. And I'd love to hear more about what we are doing to attract culturally diverse residents and business owners through all of the growth. The growth is so exciting, and I'm really proud of our city and where we're going and how we're a part of that at St. Peter's. But I would love to hear more about that. What programs do we have to support culturally diverse programs, minority-owned business owners? So we'd just love to hear more about that as we continue along. Thanks.
Thank you for your comments. The city does not dictate who the businesses are going to be in Litchfield Square or in the surrounding areas and business areas. Certainly, we are happy to see a variety of businesses come in and operate in the city. We are, I think, all of us are proud of the fact that for a city the size of Litchfield Park, we have a tremendous variety in the types and the kinds of people who live here and who call this home. We have a tremendous variety in the types of residential properties that are available for people to live here, with tremendous variety in the cost of those properties, so that we have a great diversity in the city that does make us a much more interesting place, I think, than if you look at a place like Paradise Valley. Paradise Valley is much more monolithic in terms of its residents. We don't have that here, and I think that's a great strength, and it's what I think the council is very supportive of, and we want to see that continue. So we don't want to end up with a city that only is available, or it's a city living experience that only fits one type of person. So hopefully that's something that we will be able to see continue as our city continues to grow.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and City Council. My name is John Van Wagner. I am a Litchfield Park resident, and I'd like to know what plans, if any, are for that vacant lot on Litchfield Road and Wigwam Boulevard.
That vacant lot is owned by JDM, who is the Colangelo Mel Schultz group that owns the Wigwam. We have met with them. Actually, we meet with them on a regular basis to just talk about that property. And we had a meeting approximately a month ago, and they have gotten some new ideas for how they would like to see develop that property, and we are working with them actually One of the questions was about water and water availability for the development. I think we've come up with some ideas that will allow them to get water to do what they want to do. So it is a topic that continues. It's owned by a private group, so that private group makes the decisions on how they want to go forward. But we have had conversations with them in which their ideas and I think what the residents will accept are coming together in a way that maybe will produce a positive project over the next maybe even 6 months or less. So we'll see.
Thank you.
Hi, thank you for doing this. My name is Cheryl Sasser. I live in the Cache at Woodlawn. Just a quick question. Actually, I had that question too, so I'm thrilled he asked it. Is there any kind of time frame on when we can actually see something finished in our new development in Litchfield in the park?
The tenants for the building you see under construction, those tenants have been told that they should be able to move in sometime in April.
Really?
That's what I said, really.
I've been watching it since last spring, since it started.
It seems aggressive, but I also know a number of the people who are supposed to move in there, and they've been told, literally, seriously, that they're going to be able to move in April. I think that's aggressive, but I do think that it indicates that they're going to be over the next several months. You know, if it's not April, it's June or July, that there will be tenants in that building, and you'll start seeing activity, commercial activity, that will be part of our community very shortly.
How about any of the other developments that they're looking at building in there?
Well, the next development is owned by the Rudolfo family. As far as I understand, their plans have been approved. I'm looking at Mr. Rudolfo. I think they are, and I believe that they're getting ready to get started. So hopefully we'll see the initial phases of construction with cement slabs and grading and then vertical walls in a building here shortly.
Great, thank you.
Construction fence there now.
It is. That's wonderful. We've been watching it for 3 years. When is it going to happen? It's great to see it started. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? If not, then thank you for coming out. We have thinned out quite a bit, but I'm going to tell you that from the first time we held the very first one of these States and City, we have more people sitting here now than we had at the peak of the first one. So I think we're moving in a great direction. Thank you for coming, and we look forward to working with you as the year goes on.